You know, guys, I know here on the channel I say a lot of things that are sometimes not okay, right? I'm extremely opinionated here on the channel. That's not something I'm ashamed of ever. And quite frankly, if you ever have a differing opinion, I'm pretty stubborn about it. And if you just so happen to have a take that is god awful, I'll let you know. For sure I will. And today's video serves as an example of that because I scroll through Twitter from time to time when there's nothing going on in Call of Duty. I mean, right now, as I've told you guys many times, this game is dead. There's literally no fucking life to it whatsoever. Modern Warfare 2019 Part 3, for as much as people were hyping it up, there's nothing going on. That is a factual statement. That's not an opinion. You can't tell me one interesting thing that's going on, and if you say Vortex, I'll just look at you and say, nobody wants to play fucking free-for-all to 25. I'm sorry. But anyways, guys, the Scat Master was scrolling through Twitter, just looking for something of substance, right? And unfortunately, I kind of got to go through the usual method of looking at some of these gooch-licking news sources and see if they have anything of value to talk about, or sometimes, and actually, you know what, occasionally, they have a really dog shit take. And this time it comes from the Ghost of Hope. Now, I'm not going to send him to the gulag or anything like that. As a matter of fact, he's probably the most tolerable one of the bunch. But after something like this, you know, he's kind of on the chopping block, I'm not going to lie. But he comes out here and says, I get Infinity Ward's next game isn't until 2026, but I just want to put out that for them to win me over, I am sure others feel the same, they need to at least start with having red dots on the minimap, having a ninja perk, and having responsive fluid movement. Now, on the surface, there's nothing really wrong with this statement, but I will say, the standards that we have nowadays for what is acceptable, even for the bare minimum at this point, after, what, like 5 years of just utter dog shit, it's kind of disappointing knowing that some people genuinely think this is the least that Infinity Ward or any of these developers can do to win us over. But anyways, he actually responds to himself saying, I hope everybody in this community who was up in arms about MW 2019 Part 2 doesn't forget the attitude Infinity Ward had with us when marketing starts for their next game. There should be no benefit of the doubt. They should have to win us over by listening. Oh, Jesus. Well, he actually responds to himself again and says, oh, also they need to be transparent in their updates and communicate regularly when their next game comes out. Look at how Raven, Sledgehammer Games, Treyarch communicate compared to Infinity Ward. We used to and now again do see transparent weapon balancing updates. During MW 2019 Part 2, none at all. And before I get into some of the responses that people had about this, because obviously I'm not the only person who thinks this is a dog shit take, I just want to explain to you guys super quickly that while I do like talking shit, sometimes I actually want people to pay attention and really get something from the video. And what I want you guys to really get in today's video is that our standards simply need to be higher. And not a little bit higher, like fucking significantly. Because right now, the Ghost of Hope and a lot of the people that agree with him right now, with all due disrespect, you guys sound like a bunch of fucking cucks, okay? Like fucking iDubbbz or fucking Sneeko and all these other fucking weirdos. This is on the same kind of wavelength as them, because if you remember, Infinity Ward literally cock-slapped the community in the face when we asked them for the most simple shit possible. Red dots on the minimap. And for an entire year, those stupid baboons literally ignored everybody. And the one time that they did respond to this feedback, they told us right to our faces, we simply think this game would play better without red dots on the minimap. And the only people who agreed with that at the time were fucking gooch lickers. Now guys, 2 to 3 years after the fact, if you say that the only way for Infinity Ward to earn back your money and your purchase of their title is that they need to give us red dots on the minimap, ninja as a perk, and a good movement, that is equivalent to you bending over for Infinity Ward and Joe fucking Seacott, big forehead bitch, and saying some stupid shit like, oh my god, Joe, I really miss these backshots, why don't you do it again? In one of his own tweets, he literally says there should be no benefit of the doubt for Infinity Ward, and I think going forward, everybody should be on that exact same mindset. There should be no benefit of the doubt. None of this like, oh, you know, they might start listening to us after the fact, after Season 1, after the launch. Maybe after the beta, they'll fix everything. No, that's not fucking happening. We know exactly how Infinity Ward are, and them being under Microsoft now for their next title, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm the fucking Scat Master. I don't just revert my opinions because there's new leadership or anything like that. No, you actually need to earn it. And I'm telling you guys right now, before any type of gameplay comes out about their next COD, and I understand it's not for another few years, they already need to have confirmed there's red dots on the map. There's fucking ninja as a perk. The movement's gonna be fluid or whatever the fuck we're talking about. And on top of that, there needs to be significant changes to the way that Modern Warfare as a title since 2019 has been built. Then and only then should people actually be giving a fuck about what Infinity Ward has to say or provide in this franchise. I personally think we've done a lot of moving the goalpost. I think we've done a lot of bending over, and all of these gooch-licking morons keep on giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. No, you need to stop fucking doing that. That's how we get into these weird fucking situations where we're pre-ordering because we have red dots on the minimap. The fuck? Somebody even responded to the Ghost of Hope saying they can easily do this and they know it's what we want. Then lies the problem, they don't care. And the Ghost of Hope's response is, I'd even be fine with a perk version of red dots if they want to be like that. But the fact they even removed the red dot setting from customs for MW 2019 Part 2 is so funny. What's funny is we just moved the goalpost yet again. Now it's no longer they need red dots on the minimap for me to give a fuck. Now it's, even if there's no red dots on the minimap, we're okay with a perk for it. Says who? Maybe you guys are cool with that shit. The Scabmaster's not cool with that shit, and I understand it was in Vanguard, and for what it was, it worked, I guess. I mean, but that's not saying much because Vanguard was a fucking MW 2019 World War II reskin. That's literally all that fucking game was. So for us to be moving the goalpost already, after already having the lowest standards humanly fucking possible, it says something more about the community and why we accept garbage. Why has the bar been this low for so long, and people continuously make the bar lower and give the developers a way to pass with a fucking F- in class? So long as it isn't a 50%, but you know what? A 52% is cool. No, like that's the most ass backwards logic there could possibly be. A AAA franchise shouldn't be winning you over for reintroducing features that have existed for years upon years upon years. People really need to stop letting these developers get away with creating a problem and selling a solution for it. And before I go any further, I understand what the gooch lickers are gonna respond with. Oh, Fooly, you talk all this shit about how we shouldn't play Call of Duty and shouldn't buy it, but here you are playing and buying it. Guys, I gotta say this for like the 60th time. Scadmaster did not buy this game. This game is being played for $0 and 0 cents. How did I do it? I'll tell you how I didn't do it. By stealing it. Because that would be bad, and that's wrong. You shouldn't steal, guys. Don't do that. Especially not a game that costs $70 that shouldn't cost $70 because it was a fucking DLC to the last dog shit game. Nope, don't steal it, guys. That's not okay. But then guys, there's the other issue that people have in this community, and that's always flipping on their opinions. Sometimes they say this game is dog shit, and then a couple years later they want to talk about, oh well, it wasn't that bad, or vice versa. They want to say the game is really, really good, and then down the line a couple of weeks later they're talking about, oh, this game fucking sucks. Look, that's another thing about the Scadmaster. I give you guys my solid opinion right then and there, and it doesn't fucking change. I mean, you look back at MW 2019, I know there's a lot of you guys that love that game. That game still to this day is my least enjoyed multiplayer experience of all fucking time. And that's not just Call of Duty, that's gaming in fucking general. That game's multiplayer was fucking Oprah shit. That game was Lizzo shit. Horse shit. Ass. I don't care if people get upset about that. I've even thought about making a video about it again. And I know a lot of people wouldn't like it, but I'm getting kind of tempted, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways guys, on that topic, somebody else responded to the Ghost of Hope saying, didn't y'all say this with MW 2019 Part 2? And he responds saying, I think enough is enough for a majority of people on here. I'm not pre-ordering their game or giving the benefit of the doubt. Let's see how far their fuck you, we don't have to listen attitude gets them. I know the joke. Oh, you don't like the game, you talk shit, but you always buy it, you always pre-order it. I just mentioned it, right? These are the type of people that pre-order that shit. Scadmaster hasn't pre-ordered a Call of Duty since like fucking, I don't even know, man. Black Ops 4, maybe. Once again, this is how we get into the situation where as long as the developers are quote unquote listening or saying that they're listening, then that's enough for us to pre-order, right? That's how we get into this situation where MW 2019 Part 2 last year was one of the most pre-ordered Call of Duties ever because during Call of Duty Next of that year, what did that lady say? Some bullshit about Infinity Ward actually listening to the feedback, how they learned from MW 2019's mistakes. No the fuck they did not. And if anything, they arguably created a worse product. But as soon as they add red dots, as soon as they talk about there's ninja as a perk, as soon as they talk about, oh, faster movement and jumping speeds, now we're pre-ordering, and now look where we are today. MW 2019 Part 3, everybody was hyping it up, right? It was gonna be this golden gift from heaven of a COD because we got red dots and all this other good shit, right? We corrected all of the mistakes from last year, but guess what? Player count, good quality updates from the developers, original content in general. Oh, and what are the reviews on this game again? Oh yeah, that's what I fucking thought. In my opinion, guys, this is one of the things that actually makes Call of Duty suck this fucking badly. Because after an atrocious dog shit game like MW 2019, we could have had the winning formula right then and there. Just do the exact fucking opposite. But time and time again, we allow the developers to continuously do the same shit because a lot of these gooch lickers continuously eat it up. And when we have the chance to give them actual feedback, and I'm not talking about this fucking cookie cutter bullshit about, oh well, if they give us red dots, I'd consider pre-ordering. Get that bullshit the fuck up out of here. That should not be the bare minimum. That's below the bare minimum at this point. It's been 5 years of constant dog shit. And you think red dots still justifies a fucking pre-order for a AAA titled game in a AAA franchise. This is little cuck boy attitude type of shit that people say when they want to move the goalpost and lower the bar even lower than it's already been for the last 5 fucking years. MW 2019 should be the lowest bar there could possibly be, and we're still allowing the developers to get away with, oh well, if there's a little red dot on the minimap, I think I'd be okay with it. Guys, that feature has existed in Call of Duty for so fucking long. At this point, it should not even count as the bare minimum. Some of these gooch licking morons in the comments and on Reddit, on Twitter, you guys really need to raise your standards because right now, it's kind of pathetic, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the reasons that Call of Duty fucking sucks. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Do you agree that this is one of the things that makes Call of Duty suck nowadays? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
This ain't in my body.